Hey, this is Nicholas with the Backyard TARDIS here with kind of another channel update. First of all, this is September 9th, 2021, and happy Dreamcast Day, everyone. I'm a huge Sega Dreamcast fan, and the Dreamcast was famous in North America for the campaign for its launch, 9/9/1999, so the all nines, and just feeling very nostalgic. So here in September, doing a lot of videos about that, doing some top 10s, doing some podcast spotlights, and my Backyard TARDIS Random Thoughts podcast will probably be, I'll have at least one this month, just focused on the Dreamcast. As some might have noticed, last week there was no videos. I had that period of time, and I was just super busy with work, having adventures in locksmithing. I did get some stuff recorded, and I had stuff recorded in advance, but it was just finding the time to upload to YouTube and make thumbnails. I mean, I got home from work one day, it was 1 a.m., so it was closer to the next day's start of work than it was the beginning of that day's work. I don't like working that hard, but sometimes it's something I got to do. So that was the lack of those, and you'll see also continuing on with the heat wave. The heat's back up to triple digit weather, sweating a bunch in my van. I tried recording some in the garage. I think I released one video that way, but there was really bad echo. So I have one or two videos that are going to come out that are that way, but real bad echo. So I didn't like that. I want to figure out a way to do kind of some alternative ways to record, and one of the things that I'm thinking about is when I'm staring at myself in the camera, it makes me yawn. So I want to get to the point where maybe I can figure out a way to get myself centered without having to see myself, to get around that. Or also for my Random Thoughts podcast, this is something where asking for your suggestions. I kind of would like to do that audio only. I think I take tons of notes, and I don't want to constantly have you looking at me, looking at my notes, because it wouldn't just be a little bit. I could go way more in depth if I could actually look at my notes. I would yawn a whole lot less if I wasn't staring at myself the whole time. And I want to put it on podcatcher feeds, so not just YouTube. So let me know if that's a deal breaker for people. I know I don't have a whole lot of viewers, so I don't want to alienate the few that I have, and in those longer forms, because I typically keep that about 30 minutes, aren't for everybody, but maybe more on podcasting feeds that would pick up an audience there. Would not having just my voice over a picture, would that be something that wouldn't work for YouTube? Let me know. Another thing, top 10 suggestions. I have a whole bunch that I have listed out that I want to do. A lot of them take a lot of research, and I was trying to do a schedule of this kind of video on this day, this kind of video on that day. Instead of that, top 10s tend to take me more time to do research, to get little tidbits or facts, or double check to make sure I'm saying something truthfully. Still make mistakes, but they take more time to put together. So instead of trying to force myself to always have one of those every week, or to have a podcast spotlight or an unboxing or that, I'm still going to keep Monday, Wednesday, Friday as my adventures in locksmithing days. So I'm going to, release 3 of those a week, every week. That is my goal. I want to make that a staple. Everybody seems to be enjoying that. Of course, eventually the stories might dry up, and I'll go to like 1 a week or something. But for now, 3 of those a week. And then when it comes to the other stuff, I want to try to do my podcast, the Backyard TARDIS Random Thoughts, twice a month. Maybe more, maybe sometimes less, but about twice a month. Like I said, about a half hour each. And eventually, when my co-host Kevin and me can get back into some kind of normal, when all this COVID stuff gets figured out and our jobs and everything kind of get back to normal. My idea for the main Backyard TARDIS primary podcast is just the two of us each week talking about a random back episode of Stargate or Star Trek or Star Wars and Doctor Who and all that kind of stuff, and just like, you know, taking the TARDIS and going back and enjoying stuff that came before. I still want to do that, and maybe that'll work alternatively, or that we'll see eventually if we can get that going. And hopefully by then I'll grab some better equipment, better audio, and that would be an audio podcast. That wouldn't be a video podcast. But is that something you guys are interested in? Let me know. You know, the more interest there is there, the more likely we are to figure out how to make it happen. But for the Tuesday and Thursday slots, I'm going to basically make that a mixed match. It might be a top 10, it might be a podcast spotlight, it might be a review of something, it might be an unboxing, just all the different kind of things that I was putting on those days. Gonna see those randomly there. I had joked with Cam Ray that I was gonna do some Backyard TARDIS semi-productions, and I have stuff down. But I want to kind of do a couple of those in the bank so that I can kind of make a little bit of a splash of that. That'll be very silly stuff, a little out of my comfort zone, but just having fun. And then a lot of my Random Thoughts podcast, I'm going to be talking a lot about things that are on other podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and just a kind of a way, and so I'll make sure to tag any podcast where I discuss a subject they discussed. Then the other thing, though, I was doing like reviews on the weekend. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it Monday through Friday, and then, you know, just randomly whichever video I have ready to go, that'll be the video that goes during there, and the only thing that'll be on the weekend will be the longer podcast drop. We'll either drop Saturday or Sunday. I'm not gonna try to hold myself to a time for that. And like I said, that'll probably be about twice a month. The other thing, I'm gonna be moving my video drop points from, I was doing 8:30 in the morning, and then I was doing kind of 9 in the morning. And I think if I do noon, if I drop my videos at noon, that is something where I am more likely to be able to be on for a premiere and chat with anybody that's watching it. And though with my job, you never know. But it also, if things are too crazy the night before and I don't get a thumbnail made or something like that, I have the morning to do that. And if my morning's crazy, it'll more likely that a video will actually get out that day if I do it at noon. Then sometimes things just get so crazy and then it just doesn't happen. So I figured to stay more consistent, noon would be a better drop time. So anyways, that's just kind of some of my channel updates. Like I said, happy Dreamcast Day. Feeling very nostalgic for the Dreamcast. Oh, other thing, probably going to give some other thoughts on Sage, the Sonic fan creation of games and all the games that were there. And I'm going to be talking a review coming up on Sonic Colors Ultimate. A lot of controversy about that. I have thoughts. I've gotten hands on the game. And like I said, some Dreamcast stuff. So stay tuned for those, and I will see you in the next video.